Former Trump National Security Advisor John Bolton says this: Donald Trump unequivocally, without a smidge of a doubt, knows exactly what a burner phone is. That matters because after some stunning new reporting in the Washington Post about the January 6th committee's investigation into a 7-hour, 37-minute gap in the call log, those records of calls Donald Trump made that day, the committee is looking at the possibility of Donald Trump, the President of the United States, on the day of the insurrection, using burner phones. Trump said this: he has, quote, no idea what a burner phone even is. Quote, to the best of my knowledge, I have never even heard the term. Which brings us to John Bolton telling the Washington Post this. He recalls Trump using the term burner phones in several discussions and that Trump was aware of its meaning. Bolton also said he and Trump have spoken about how people have used burner phones to avoid having their calls scrutinized. Joining us now, Congressman Gerry Connolly of Virginia, member of the House Foreign Affairs and Oversight Committees. This matters for so many reasons. One, someone who lies about something small, whether they know what a burner phone is or not, lies about something big. And two, someone who has an affair with a porn star is certainly aware of how to evade call logs, even if they're not the leader of the free world. What do you make of this?
Well, you know, we're dealing with a pathological liar, so why would we start believing him on this? And I tend to think that John Bolton, who spent a lot of time with Donald Trump as National Security Advisor, would know what he's talking about. I think it stretches credulity to believe Donald Trump doesn't know what a burner phone is and didn't take advantage of it in the 7-hour, 37-minute gap, which makes Nixon's 18-and-a-half-minute gap look like a Boy Scout.
I want to show you something your colleague, Congressman Adam Schiff, said about this specific issue, the use of the burner phones in this gap last night.
The former president's denial that he doesn't know what a burner phone is, rings a lot like, I don't know who the Proud Boys are, I don't know anything. He's made so many false denials in the past. I don't think we can give them any credit whatsoever.
And then Axios is reporting this, Congressman. Attorneys for Donald Trump allege in a lawsuit against the New York Times and against Trump's niece, Mary Trump, over the news outlet's 2018 reporting on his tax records, that the New York Times communicated with Mary Trump via a burner phone. So we know that was an issue and information that he monitored very closely. I wonder if we get past whether he, what the meaning of does not know what a burner phone is or not. Is this bigger question for you about obstructing the communications that the president had for nearly 8 hours? What are your questions around that?
Well, I think the most significant event in this regard this week was the opinion of the federal judge, Judge Carter, that almost certainly Donald Trump and maybe John Eastman have violated federal law, have committed a felony in the obstruction of justice with respect to the January 6th insurrection. I think that's a profound opinion by a federal judge that deserves enormous attention, both by the January 6th committee here in Congress, but maybe more importantly by Merrick Garland, the Attorney General of the United States.
The judge said, as you just said, that Donald Trump and John Eastman likely committed felonies. He also goes on to say that not holding him accountable would bring about another January 6th. We know what Donald Trump's inner circle looks like under scrutiny, under investigation. We all lived through the Mueller years. We all lived through 2 impeachments. Do you have any reason to suspect that DOJ might be investigating Trump or his inner circle?
I don't, but I certainly would commend it. As you point out, Donald Trump was in fact impeached a second time for precisely this. In front of our eyes, he incited a mob to violence. And it is very clear in front of our eyes again, he made no secret about it, that he has tried to encourage officials throughout the United States to overturn the actual election results of November. That ought to be a crime. That ought to be pursued. That ought to be prosecuted. And I don't care who it is. In this case, the former president of the United States. And as Judge Carter said, not to do it has real consequences, too.
I think the reason, and I saw that opinion Monday morning, we began this program with it. Most people reacted the way you have. But I think the reason that opinion had such an impact and was such a sort of a political detonation is because nobody thinks the Justice Department is investigating Trump. And I wonder what your sense is as to why that is.
Well, I don't know that to be true. Merrick Garland is a former federal judge. He's a very careful person. I don't think he's going to pursue a case based on political pressure or even congressional pressure. Hopefully, however, he sees that this case has profound merit and cannot be ignored. There's real peril in doing that, as Judge Carter pointed out. So I would hope, if he wasn't already doing it, that Merrick Garland is refreshing his familiarity with the particulars of the impeachment of Donald Trump, the second impeachment, the facts surrounding the insurrection, and Donald Trump's criminal role in all of that.